Hey guys, Coach Onley here. Today I am the Esports head coach at Ottawa University, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what to look for in a college esports program. Roll it. So as I begin diving into this, I do want to reference that if you haven't seen my previous video talking about what I look for in college esports recruits, I would highly encourage you to go check that out. I'll put the link in the description below because that will prepare you some questions that you should be thinking about that also apply to this video. But to summarize, mainly what I'm talking about is when you're applying to an esports program, a couple of things you should know is what you're trying to achieve with college esports and what your dream is. It's just really important to know why you're doing something. And so to get started, I'm going to talk about the support that a program offers. And I'll break this one down into what kind of staff do they have, what will they provide to help you develop as a gamer, and will they help you accomplish your dreams. So as far as staffing goes, it's a little bit, with how new college esports is in the current meta, staffing is a lot different from one program to another. Some are run by part-time coaches who are just professors or staff already at the university. Some are hiring esports directors who are kind of in charge of putting everything together. Some are hiring actual esports head coaches to actually run the programs and put together teams. Some are utilizing graduate assistants. It's very different from one program to another, so it might be worth your time to look into it or ask whoever you're talking to at that program what kind of staff and support they have there. The next part was what will they provide to help you develop as a gamer, and this goes back to what you're trying to accomplish in the program. If you're trying to become a professional player, you need to know what they're going to do to help you reach that goal. Are they going to have what kind of skill level coaches are they going to have or bring in to help you? What kind of teammates are you going to have? What tournaments are they going to sign you up for? You need to take it pretty serious if you want to be pro about what your team looks like, and what kind of resources you're going to get to take you from where you're at now to the level of being recruited to join a professional team. If you're trying to become a content creator or make a part-time or full-time living off of YouTube or streaming or both, you need to figure out what they're going to be able to help you accomplish in that space. You need to know, are they going to have streaming equipment ready for me? Are they going to have camera gear? Are they going to give me everything that I need to put out the content that I want? And if not, what would I have to do to make sure I could achieve those goals? And then the final question was, will they help you accomplish your dream? This one's really similar to the last one, but it goes back to knowing exactly what you're trying to do in this space. And that's a really great question when you're talking to programs to ask the coach of, hey, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. What will you do to help me accomplish that dream? And depending on how the coach answers or the director, whoever you're talking to, should heavily influence you on what program you're going to go into. So the next thing that you should look into is what kind of culture does that esports program have? And this one might be tricky because most programs are brand new, so they might not even have one established yet, or it's going to be kind of like in the early stages, but I'll help you kind of walk you through what you should be looking for and maybe what questions you can ask if it is a new program to help give you a better idea of this. And so the first one is just simply, what do the current players have to say about the program? I think every program has a Discord. Some of them are closed off to the esports programs, but most of them are open if you want to join into those Discords. And you can just simply reach out to some of the kids that you'd be playing with or already on the team, and you can maybe ask them the questions that you're not comfortable asking the coach, like what are the dorms like, what's it like living there, how is the team, what's the attitude like, and it'll also give you an idea of your play style and how you fit in with the team. And so take your time to actually talk to the kids that are going to be in the program next year to figure out if that's something that you're going to fit into and if you could see yourself, being friends with them and growing with that team. The next question or thing to look into is what kind of content are they putting out? Check out their YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Most programs will have at least some amount of social media. A lot of programs don't put too much emphasis on this, but if they are putting out videos or tweets or content, what does that content look like and how does that fit in with you and how do you feel about it? You can get a sense of who's running the program and what kind of kids are in the program by what content they put out. And the final one is, what is the vision of the program? And this may be laid out on their website, but this also is just a really good question to ask the coach. Because one thing you have to understand going into a college esports program is the space is very new. Chances are most kids take about 5 years to finish their degree now. And 5 years ago, there was only one esports program in the entire country. Now there's like 150, and by the time, so if you went to school this fall for esports, by the time you're graduating, the space is going to change so much. Nationwide, every school is going to have one. And so you're going to be part of one of the first classes that really sets the pace and the tone for what college esports looks like. And that's really important to make sure that you're growing with the right program. So ask the coach or the director what their vision is for the program and make sure that aligns with your own personal goals so that you guys are headed in the right direction. So the next thing to look at is what sort of facilities they're going to offer. And usually this is in the form of an esports arena. Now, esports arena is very loosely defined in the college world, so it might be worth taking your time to look into this a little bit more. So some questions to ask is who outfitted the arena? You know, what brand, like PCs you're going to be playing on and things like that. Did they build their own? That all sort of plays in a little bit more into kind of what sort of resources the school is providing for this program and how much support you have from the school. If a program built their own computers, it could mean that they're very heavily focused in computer science, but it could also mean that they're trying to penny crunch and save money and just kind of throw a program together. It could mean either one. For example, iBuyPower is partnered with NACE. Pretty much every school that has an esports program is partnered with NACE. So if iBuyPower outfitted their arena, that probably means that they just take advantage of that. Whereas if another program got a different computer sponsor to come in, it probably means that program's doing something that's exciting or different, and maybe it's worth looking into that. I mean, it's a very little thing, but it's worth you taking a look at. Another question is, will you have your own PC station? Again, every school does this different. For the most part, programs are going to make sure they have enough computers for everyone in the program. It might not mean that you individually get a computer and can do whatever you want with that space, but it'll at least mean that you can practice whenever you want. But some programs don't have that, and they have smaller arenas, and so it's worth looking into, knowing how much you're going to want to utilize that space in practice and making sure that you're going to have a computer available for you. Two things that are kind of tied together: does the arena have a spectator component, and does it have a streaming component? So when you're practicing with your team, playing in tournaments, is all that going to be broadcasted? Is that all going to be streamed? Do they have the capability to do that? And also, is there any sort of spectator component? You know, some kids really want to play on an elevated stage in front of fans, and that's really important to them. So making sure to ask those questions and learning if the program you're interested in has that could be a deal breaker for you. Some kids don't care about that or don't want to play in front of an audience, and that's fine. And there's programs that don't have that. So those are a couple of questions that are worthwhile asking or looking into. And the final thing I want to touch on is scholarships. If you're going to college for esports, you should definitely be getting a scholarship for it because there's plenty of schools that have scholarships available. As far as are you getting the best scholarship or what you should look for in a scholarship, I feel like the general rule of thumb right now is if you're a decent player, as long as you're getting 50% of your tuition covered to be in that program, then it's probably a good deal. And I think as long as you're getting a good deal on your scholarship offer to go to that school, the more important thing that you need to decide is it going to make you happy, and is it going to give you the best experience possible? Because I promise 5 years from now, you're not going to care that you paid a couple $1,000s more for one college or another if it impacted your growth as a gamer or your experience in any way. If there's a school that's a little bit more expensive, but it's going to give you an amazing experience and more exposure and a better opportunity to chase your dreams, you're at the age where you should be pursuing that, and you should prioritize that over saving a couple dollars for a program that you're not sure about, but it makes a little bit more sense. While you're young, while you're, at this point in your life, this is your probably only opportunity to chase this career and to chase this path of esports and becoming a professional gamer, and now's the time to do it. And so you need to find a program that's going to help you achieve those dreams, and I don't think you should be as tied up about which one's going to give you the absolute best scholarship if it doesn't mean that program's going to support you the way the other one would. So I hope that answers a lot of your questions and figuring out what program you're going to want to go to. Obviously, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll make sure to reach out to you and let you know. And I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.